And what would you say to people that today normally come out and say, Islam is basically, people are in the name of Islam. There are many incidents that happen wherein people go and blast themselves, attack here, attack there. What message do you want to say to the world that primarily are associating Islam to those people that are in the name of Islam just going ahead and blasting themselves out?
Look, uh, on one hand, there people of faith in general, and not just Islam, are far too eager to distance themselves, historically speaking, from extremists in their ranks or in their community, often denying that religious violence has any religious motivation whatsoever. And this is true in most people of faith, including Muslims, who are part of this human fabric and who often glibly dismiss those who commit acts of terror in the name of Islam as not really Muslim. That's not necessarily the truth. On the other hand, critics of religions, and specifically of Islam, and religious extremists, actually both together, right? Islamophobes and religious extremists tend to exhibit an inability to understand Islam outside of their own narrative of it. So they scour the book or the Sunnah or Muslim history or religious books for bits of texts that can be taken out of context to prove intolerance, hate, or violence. Now, I claim that the Quran does not have any of that if you keep everything contextual. Now, as far as religious books written by people, well, I mean, just like any human contribution, there's always the good, the bad, and the ugly in any human contribution. And I don't claim that human contribution is infallible. I claim that the prophetic sunnah is, the prophetic tradition is, the Quran is revealed by the Creator. But we have to understand something that's very important, and that is oftentimes the abiding nature of the revelation, whether it is the Quran, whether it is the Bible, whether it is the Torah. The abiding nature of the scripture rests not so much in its truth claims, and that's there, but as it does in its malleability, meaning the ability to accommodate a various needs a worshiper requires. The same Bible that commands Jews to, quote, love their neighbor as love your neighbor as yourself, as in Leviticus 19:18, also exhorts them to, quote, again, I open quote, kill every man, woman, child, and infant, ox and sheep, camel and donkey, end quote, who worship any other God, as in 1 Samuel 15:3. The same Jesus Christ who told his disciples, allegedly, to, quote, turn the other cheek, as in Matthew 5:39, also told them that he had, quote, not come to bring peace, but the sword, end quote, as in Matthew 10:34. And that he who does not, again, quote, he who does not have a sword should sell his cloak and buy one, end quote, as in Luke 22:36. The same Quran that warns believers, quote, if you kill one person, it is as of a crime as though you have killed all of humanity, as in chapter 5:32, also commands them to, open quote, kill the idolaters wherever you find them, end quote, as in chapter 9:5. Now, how a worshiper treats these seemingly, maybe on an outward level, actually not seemingly, but if you take them out of context, they would be conflicting. And that's what I just did. I just gave an example of an out of context presentation. So if a worshiper takes these things out of context, well, then you can interpret them in whatever way you are. If you're a violent misogynist, you will find plenty in your book to justify your beliefs. You don't even really need, you've already have the idea. You're just looking for something to hang your beliefs on. You're not stemming from faith. And therefore, again, I say religious or faith systems are really innocent from the cruelty of human beings throughout history.
Wow. I mean, this is I think one of the most crucial parts that everyone should take away, we're because I think this is one of the reasons, right, why people are not taking into account the context of things, but directly just handpicking those things that basically are close to what their belief system is, and then having a whole different perception of that.